Truth Unveiled here, keeping you updated with the world around you. And today we're going to be talking about Last Judgment in America. Because yes, you read that title correctly. I cannot even be making this stuff up. I'm telling you, it's time to see exactly what time it really is. Because we're here at this report from Time Out, and it says Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel has been recreated at the Oculus. And I just went over this not even 2 days ago, but will reiterate it once again. And I mean, they're just literally putting it in front of our faces now, but I'm just going to tell you why this is so significant and what this has to do with CERN and why you should be concerned about this indeed. But it says here, it's hard to say which feat was more grueling, Michelangelo painting the Sistine Chapel in the early 16th century or the lengthy construction of Oculus at the World Trade Center transportation hub. And we're going to be talking more about that because it's going to be at the Oculus at the World Trade Center. Aren't they planning for another 9/11? Very interesting. But then it goes on to say the former took nearly 15 years to complete and was a serious toll on the legendary artist. The latter was finished 10 years late and $2 billion over budget. But then this is what it says, that this summer the two are coming together for an incredibly cool art installation, and it's called Dubbed Up Close Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. The exhibit brings 34 reproductions of the Renaissance artist's iconic frescoes to Westfield World Trade Center, you know, the mall that makes up most of the train station. The pieces are laid out in an immersive setting across the space, which may be the next big thing to traveling all the way to Italy and checking out the renowned chapel in person. The installation runs from the 23rd all the way until the 23rd of next month. Oh, the 23rd. Interesting. They love putting those numbers everywhere. And tickets start at $15. The exhibit will also be making a national tour. So if you miss it at the Oculus this summer, you can always head over to the Garden State Plaza in Paramus, New Jersey to see it in September. And what are some of the paintings that are going to be featured there? Well, let's find out, because Fox actually tells us in their report where it says Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel recreated in World Trade Center Transit Hub. And it's no surprise or coincidence whatsoever that they're doing this weekend, and it just so happens to be the exact same weekend of Freemasonry's 300th anniversary. Oh, how very timely indeed. But here the report says that it's going to be in New York City, and the 34 nearly life-size medium quality images of the Renaissance are now on display in the Oculus World Trade Center transportation hub that comes from the Vatican Sistine Chapel, and we'll be talking more about that. Some of the pieces will include the creation of Adam. It will also include what? The Last Judgment. Other paintings will include Prophet Jeremiah, creation of Eve, David and Goliath, and the sacrifice of Noah, according to them. And just like we talked about, it will run for about a month, from the 23rd of this month through the 23rd of next month. And after that, then it will be in the Garden State Plaza in New Jersey. And then it will go to 6 other U.S. cities. And what perfect timing indeed, because what is this all leading up to? Culminating its display in New York towards the end of next month. Well, what's going on at the end of next month? Oh, that's right, Bohemian Grove, where your elite and world leaders are going to meet together and have camp and do fun and exciting things indeed, including sacrifice and making offerings to Molech the Owl, child sacrificing and offering, child pedophilia, and all the other disgusting things that they do. Also celebrating 300 years of Freemasonry too? What is really going on here? But of course, it's also no surprise or coincidence whatsoever that this just so happens to be 500 years after Michelangelo, who was around during the 16th century, and that the Sistine Chapel's frescoes have made their way into, of all places, the World Trade Center. Do you see the message here? Do you see exactly what's going on? And as I've talked about in many of my other videos, isn't your government planning for another 9/11 and planning to stage another 9/11? Why would they have this at the World Trade Center, and why would it start off there on the 23rd and then end on the 23rd of next month, right around the same time as Freemasonry's 300th anniversary? And oh, did I mention 500 years? Where else have we seen that at? Oh, that's right. The 500 years of Reformation period, the Reformation of the Church, establishing the one world order, new world order. And that's where the Vatican comes in too. Now, here's more info on the 500th anniversary of the Reformation, and this is supposed to take place for Luther country as it marks the 500th anniversary of the year that Martin Luther made his 95 Theses known to the world, thus changing the history of the church, country, and the world forever. And when is this supposed to be observed on? That's right, on October 31st, 2017, Halloween, or should I say Halloween. Around the same exact time as the Day of the Dead, Samhain, and also the 100 years anniversary of the Balfour Declaration that was signed back on November 2nd of 1917. And if you would like to learn more about that, please watch my video that's linked in the description box below, because there I talk more about it and go into further detail, not to mention, of course, how this weekend is 300 years of Freemasonry. And according to the actual source book, you'll see that the founding day of Freemasonry that's commonly celebrated is 6/24/1717, so which was exactly yesterday, and there were many celebrations across the country, including in places such as Marietta, Georgia. But I thought this was also very interesting and suspicious indeed when you actually take a look at another Freemasonry website, and when you do more research in this, you start to see that although the actual anniversary was celebrated yesterday on 6/24/1717, many celebrations for the 300 years of Freemasonry will also be on what day? When? Halloween, October 31st, 2017, the same day as the 500-year Reformation period. No surprise there. But now we'll be talking more about Oculus and its structure and its importance, because it's no surprise or coincidence that they're having the Michelangelo, that they're having it exactly right here in this area, right at World Trade Center, right at Ground Zero, with the Last Judgment painting to be featured there from the Vatican. Now, this website talks more about the World Trade Center Transportation Hub, and we're just going to briefly go over it. But notice how it says here that it says that the Oculus serves as the centerpiece of the World Trade Center Transportation Hub, incorporating 78,000 square feet of multi-level state-of-the-art retail and dining. It also, the concourses emanating from the Oculus link the entirety of the site above and below grade, with an additional 290,000 square feet of exciting multi-level retail and dining space. The World Trade Center site is the focal point of Lower Manhattan. And it also says how the WTC's hub also connects the National 9/11 Memorial and Museum, the World Trade Center Towers 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Brookfield Place also. Now, here's also a post that actually takes a look inside of the Oculus so you can see the very eerie and cryptic things about it. But it says, inside the Oculus, New York's insane-looking $4 billion train station, winged dove or beach whale carcass. And you can actually see the outside of it here. It kind of looks like the wings of what? The fallen ones indeed. Now, I'm just going to show you the picture so you can see how it looks in case you've never seen it before, and I'll be sure to link this in the description box below. But here you can actually get a picture and an idea of how it actually looks. It shows the inside, and then it also gives you an idea of the architecture too and how it looks. But if you keep going, you start to notice how it kind of resembles a lot of triangles, and we know the triangles represent what? They represent the pyramid, the Illuminati, the capping of the pyramid indeed of their New World Order. Here is another picture that showcases it also, and like I said, it's no surprise or coincidence whatsoever that they just so happen to be hosting all of this right here at such a time as this, with everything else going on as we talked about and as we highlighted. And if you really think that all of this is a mere coincidence, or oh, it just so happens to be happening, or oh, there's nothing to it, I'm telling you, it's time to wake up, because the elite and the Illuminati are literally messaging you and literally telling you exactly what time it is for America and also for the rest of the world. Last Judgment. Now, interestingly enough, this also comes about a few months after the replica of the Syrian arch destroyed by ISIS that was unveiled in New York City. And we talked more about this last year, the Arch of Baal, the Arch of Triumph, because it came to London and then it came to New York as of September of 2016, around the same time as what? Trumpets? Oh, very interesting and suspicious indeed, with the Arch of Triumph and now this too? And then I also wanted to quickly add how the elite and the Illuminati, they love that number 23. That's why the showcase is from the 23rd of this month all the way to the 23rd of next month. No surprise there either. But then also I talked about too how this relates to what? September 23rd. And we know that this year, specifically in 2017, it will be when the Revelation 12 sign will be fulfilled in the sky. But 2 years ago, as of September 23rd, 2015, the 266th Pope met on the 266th day of the year with President Obama, promoting their one world religion, where the Pope even spoke at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. And I just did a video covering all of this not even barely 2 days ago. Oh my goodness, what is really going on? I'm telling you. It's time to wake up and see the world around us, and it's time to wake up and see the real beast indeed, and what the beast is actually getting ready for, and what the beast is about to unleash. All of this is very concerning indeed, especially when we look at CERN and when we tie that into the Vatican and their plans of what? The one world religion. They're getting ready for their false alien deception. That's what they're leading up to, but they have to plan a second 9/11 in order to do so, because we know CERN is trying to unleash demons and portals and open up doorways to them. That's why they have the Shiva statue right outside of their office, because it represents what? Destruction. And just as we went over in the previous video before, it's no surprise that they're observing this holiday, or should I say holiday, on September 7th of 2017. And we talk more about that. And mind you, this will be the exact same time that the Michelangelo showcase of the Sistine Chapel will be traveling in New Jersey. And as we talked about when it comes to the Genevan fast that CERN will in fact be observing in September of 2017, it's actually a public holiday in the canton of Geneva, Switzerland, which occurs on the Thursday following the first Sunday of September, dating back to the 16th century, 500 years ago. No surprise or coincidence there either whatsoever. But like I've mentioned and pointed out in my other video, and I'll do so once again in this one, it's interesting and suspicious indeed how this began before St. Bartholomew's Day massacre. Where else have we seen Bartholomew? Bartholomew is actually depicted on the actual Michelangelo painting in The Last Judgment. Very interesting and suspicious indeed. And where is this at? Oh, that's right, the Sistine Chapel at Vatican City, which is a depiction of the second coming of Yahusha and the final and eternal judgment. And they just so happen to be making replicas of this at the World Trade Center of all places, especially at such a time as this. Why didn't they choose any other place? They could have chosen any other place in the world to put this. They could have chosen any other painting, but they chose Michelangelo's Last Judgment to be placed at the World Trade Center, which has to do with what? 9/11, order out of chaos, birthing their new world order. And it's just about time, especially how it's on the 23rd of this month, culminating on the 23rd of next month, the 223s again, with the 923 sign only 2 months away after it's showcased here. Not to mention how this all coincides and culminates with the 300 years of Freemasonry and the 500 years Reformation period. Please seek Yahuwah and his true son Yahusha, because it's all culminating. And yes, we should be concerned, but we know with Yahuwah and Yahusha we are protected indeed. But this is Truth Unveiled here, keeping you updated as always, and saying as always, Shalom.